my channel, The Crafty Puerto Rican. For those who are new, thank you for coming to my channel and supporting it. And for those who are already been with me before, thank you, and I hope you like this content. So today I'm going to be working on embroidery. But before, I've been doing straight embroidery and have not include any applique. This one I'm going to include applique. For those who have never done applique, I'm going to take you through the step of the applique process. So we're going to be using basic stuff like the, of course, the embroidery machine. And you know that I have an SE 1900 brother embroidery machine. And the largest hoop that the machine uses is 5x7. So I'm going to be using the 5x7 today. I would like to have used the 5x12, but with embroidery and applique, it's kind of complicated. It can be done. But in this case, the applique that I'm going to be using, you're going to be seeing is a straight applique file, and it overlaps one on top of the other. So I decided it's not going to happen because it's going to really be very complicated or almost impossible to do. So yeah, so the things that we need other than the machine, we're going to be using some stabilizer, and in this case I'm going to be using cutaway stabilizer because it's a garment. I buy it like this in the roll. It's a little more economical, and I'm going to be using also tender touch. I'm sorry, the heat and bond. Tender touch is something else. Heat and bond, this we're going to be using in the applique fabric. And the fabric, what we're going to do, we're going to cut whatever is needed for the applique, and then we're going to be cutting the same size of heat and bond, same size as of the fabric or the applique. Exactly the same size. And then you iron to the fabric, and that's what we're going to use to put on the applique pieces. Why we do this? Because that way at the end of the process, you're going to iron the applique already finished, and that is going to have this on it. What it does is stick to the garment, and it stabilizes the garment, and that thing is not going to be moving or puffing or bunching after you wash it. So this is very important, the heat and bond. And the other stuff that we're going to use that I tried to mention before is a stitch cover. Some people have used other brands like Tender Touch. I started with Tender Touch, and then I found this brand, Cloud Cover, I believe it's called, and I got it from Amazon. It comes in a roll, and it works amazingly. And what this does is just protects the back of the embroidery. It covers all the stitches, and then it makes it softer to the wear, especially on children garment and also adults. I use it on all my adults embroidery also. So yeah, this is the one I buy. I didn't see much of a difference to the Tender Touch, other than I'm saving some money. Because I'm saving some money, I'm using this, and it works amazingly. So yeah, those three things you're gonna need, and of course your scissors and your thread. I'm gonna move now to the machine where my embroidery is, so that I can show you what is the next steps. Okay, see you in a couple of seconds. So this is a 5x7 hoop. I already placed the cutaway stabilizer on it, and I'm using the floating technique. I have already spread it with the pasting adhesive, temporary adhesive, and I'm just gonna go ahead and place the hoodie that I'm using for this demonstration. It's a hoodie. I already did the marks here with a red mark, and these marks are done with a pen that is heat. You apply heat and it disappears, so it's gonna, it's not permanent markings. So I'm gonna go ahead and proceed to place it down. Make sure that it's nice and flat. I previously ironed the shirt in the middle also, like in half, to have a line of, to help me in the positioning of the hoodie. So make sure that it's in the middle. Now I'm gonna just put it, if you notice this shirt is inside out, you have to do it this way for it to work. You have to put it inside out, okay? And here you go. I can feel it's right in the middle. I don't know if you notice the marks in the inside that I did. So it is positioned, it's in place. All right. And this design is a full 7 inches wide and 4, I believe it's 4 and 1/3 or 1/4 in a height. All right, so let's go to the machine. Okay, so let's hook this baby. Take in mind that this is a hoodie, so it's a thick material. So it's, you know, just carefully you're gonna put it under the machine to be hooked. Make sure that every little piece of the hoodie is away from under the machine, so that you don't have any, you know, nothing sticking under. So if you see this is upside down, and I need to put it around because the head is heading that way. So I'm gonna do the rotate 90 degrees. That looks good. I'm gonna say okay. Now we're gonna also do the edit. I'm gonna make sure that it's gonna clear everything. It's clearing everything. That's pretty good. I already threaded my machine, like I mentioned before, and I show you already have all the hidden bond in the back. You see all this glossy feeling? That's the glue. Those are the applique pieces already cut. It's gonna be the L. It's gonna take 1 minute, supposedly. Let's see. So people, I'm sorry, I had to stop the other part of the process because my tripod dropped and you were looking at the fabric instead of the embroidery. So I already did the L, but steps are the same, but we're gonna follow the next one. The next step I'm gonna do right now is to place the applique fabric, and the steps are like placement and then the applique fabric. So that's what we're gonna do right now, all right? And I'm sorry about that. And you can opt to change the color of the thread because the steps are gonna tell you to change color, but that's really, it's like you can use it as a sign that you need to put the material, or you can change the thread. In the beginning I used to change the thread for each thing, but I'm gonna leave the same color because it doesn't make really at this point any difference. So right now what I'm gonna do is just placement of the applique, right? I'm gonna start the machine. Okay, so that's the, so my next step is to cut around it. I have scissors that I use for this purpose. Sometimes I use these nice twister scissors, depending if it is very intricate. And for bigger ones, then I use my curved scissor. It depends in the area that I'm cutting. I'm gonna start with my curved scissors. Some people take off the frame to do this, the hook. So when I'm not taking this hook in this case, it's because this hood is heavy and I do not want to go to that trouble. So I just cut it right here. I don't go to the trouble of, no, it's too complicated. If it would be like a t-shirt, something real thin, or like a baby onesie, then I take the hook and do it. But in this case, I just can't. It's too complicated, people. Okay, that's done. And then I like using my sticky roller to pick up all the extra little things that comes out when you cut fabric, the little threads and stuff like that. And it's very important that before you start, you have all your things ready, prepared. The piece of material already prepared with the hidden bond. You have all your colors in order that you're gonna use. That make it faster, as opposed to having to, every time you're step, you have to look for the fabric and you have to put it in. But no, you do everything at once, okay? That makes it more faster. Now the next step is back down. You see, so in most cases, when you have files with appliques, it does all these steps, you know, the tracing of the pattern, tracing of the pattern, and then at the end, when it does the satin stitches. Okay, so now we're gonna start the next part of the tag down. Now I'm gonna cut the tag down to the fabric. Next step, which I changed the colors already. It's gonna be another tracing. Okay, so now it's gonna be asking me to put the fabric. So I'm gonna lift up the. Okay. If you notice, I'm not gonna change the thread because it's just fabric placement, and that way I don't have to waste too much time. Okay, so I already did the 2 parts so that the video it doesn't run too long. So now we're gonna continue to the next part. Repeated the same thing, placement, you know, like the tracing and then the tag down. That part is done. Let's go to the next part. Okay, so you finish that part, and the next one I'm going to continue to the letter B. So I'm not going to change the thread because it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a placement. So all this first part of the embroidery is being placement and tag down, placement and tag down in that order. If the file gives you all these numbers, all these color changes, don't worry about it. You can use the same one. So at this point, it's not the satin stitch, so you can keep it. If you makes you feel more secure to do the thread changes, which I did. Sometimes I even do it because if I don't know the file very well, I tend to follow exactly what it tells me just in case. Go ahead and change the thread, okay? It's up to you. Like I said, I've done it before, especially when it's a new file. This one is a new file. I follow it in the beginning, but now I know how it goes, so I'm not gonna change. Decided not to change. Okay, I'm gonna place the fabric. I'm gonna make sure that it's enough. I need some leftover for another part of the embroidery of the design, so I want to make sure that everything is covered. Sorry about the moving of the camera. But I'm holding the camera with one hand and doing everything with the other hand. Alright, so we're done with this part. Let's cut the fabric around. Okay, guys, I changed that thread to a brown color. So let's go. So this design, I switched. It came with another fabric selection, a little bit kind of weird. So I selected my own fabric just to make it a little bit more cuter. So I have to switch mostly like all the thread were completely different thread colors. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the next thread color. Okay, so I switched the color for the pumpkin, which is orange. Let's go. Put that thread on the way. Okay. People, if you are new in embroidery, don't do what I just did. I should not have done that. Pick up that thing so close to the middle. Don't do it. It's risky. Okay, so we are gonna be doing the next step. Embroidering the top part of the pumpkin and doing the satin finish to this last part in there. That is looking so pretty. Oh my goodness. I didn't think it was gonna be so pretty. I'm glad I changed the color of the vine because it was kind of a khaki color, beigey, plain, and I said, nah, that's gonna be too plain. I'm glad I changed the color. Okay. So now we are going to change to the last color change, which is to the brown color. So this is the last part of the satin stitch. So that's the last of the embroidery, and I'm gonna take it off the machine. I'm gonna hook it, and then we're gonna go and clean it up a little bit to show it off. Okay, so this is how the designs look. Beautiful, love it. I'm gonna take it off the hook, and then I'm gonna cut a couple of stitches, jump stitches, and then we'll resume for the next step. All right. Just cutting some of the stitches that I like loose. You don't have to cut all of them, just a couple of them that are sticking out. See? This file, I was very surprised how well it was done, because I didn't have to cut down stitches in between. I was just shocked. So it's a very good digitizing. Love it, love it, love it. The digitizing. It's very good. So I'm pleased. To be repeated. If I could only make it bigger, maybe in the future I can get a machine that I can make it bigger, I will do bigger. For this, I mean, for a hoodie is good enough. So now I'm gonna be cutting the stabilizer, and just make sure that you are very careful when you do this step. Okay, I'm using these kind of scissors. Okay, it's called the duckbill scissors, and it's easy to use, and it protects the fabric on the other side of the shirt or whatever you're cutting. Protects it. Make sure that you don't. Next step is we're gonna use the stitch cover fabric from the brand Cloud Cover. All of these things I have, I'm gonna link it in the description box below. You see how close I do? I don't like to leave all this material all over the place. I don't like it. Okay, so next step is cutting the cloud. The next step is cutting the stitch cover. And the stitch cover, what it does is it covers the embroider from the back, and it helps for it to be soft to the skin. Perfect for baby clothing and for adult clothing too, like I'm doing right now. I use a lot of hoodies. I'm a hoodie girl. I have so many hoodies. I love hoodies. I can't live on them. So yeah. So I started embroidering them, making designs on them, even monograms. The monograms look so good. Applique monograms, oh my gosh. I've done so many of them, and they look so good. Okay. I try always to make like a nice shape in the back, even though people cannot see it, but you know, yeah, just to make it look nice and straight as much as you can. I tend to curve the edges a little bit. Now we're going to press it. I usually put about 280 degrees for about 10 seconds. You don't have to put it for too long. So now I'm pressing for 10 seconds at 280. That is the temp that I chose. I mean, sometimes I do it more, sometimes I do it less. All depends on the fabric or the garment. It looks like it's stuck, except for this corner because the press didn't go all the way here. This press is a 9 by 6. Yeah, it's a Cricut easy press 9 by 6, and it's good to go. Here we go. Nice. Let me turn it inside out to press it. Now we have to press it inside out also because remember it has the hidden bond, so that needs to be pressed also directly. And we already did it from the back because of the stitch cover, so now we're gonna do it to the front. People, this came up to be so pretty. I love this design. So gorgeous. The colors that I chose, I love. These are my own colors of fabric. The design came with other fabric, like I said before, that I did not like. So I changed all the fabric, the color scheme, and I also the thread and everything. Okay, I think this is good. Now we're gonna press it. Make sure I'm gonna keep it at 10 seconds also. 10-15 seconds, and I have it at 280. It's done. And just make sure that I don't have any stitches, jump stitches. There's nothing. This is one of the few designs that I've done that I don't have to do any jump stitches in between the process and the embroidery or after. So kudos to this digitizer. So what do you think, people? I just love it. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay, so I see you in a little bit. I hope you liked it. This is a final product. I liked it a lot. I think the colors are beautiful. And yeah, so I like it. Like I said, this is a hoodie. This is a 5x7 hoop. If you have any comments or any suggestions, you can put it down in the description box. If you're new to my channel, thank you for being with me. Make sure that if you like this content to give me a thumb up. For those who knows me and come back, thank you for supporting my channel. I will see you later because there's other good stuff coming up. Goodbye. Hasta luego.